Everyone, and thank you for joining us for the postgame press conferences following the first round of the 2024 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championships at Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall. A reminder, the open locker room portion for Florida Gulf Coast has begun and will run concurrently with the press conference and close at approximately 7:02. We are joined on the dais by head coach Carl Smesko, redshirt senior Briley Bartram, and redshirt junior Imani Jefferson. We will have Coach make an opening statement, take questions for the student athletes, and then take questions for Coach. Coach, we'll let you start.
Obviously a tough game, painful right now, but I'm really proud of our team. They gave great effort. This is the Big 12 champion, and we took them to the very last shot and last bounce of the ball. I couldn't be any more proud of them if they won. They did everything that they could to try to represent FGCU and our conference well, and I'm just really proud of them.
We will take questions for the student athletes. Raise your hand, we'll get you a mic. Please state your name and affiliation in the room. If you're joining us on Zoom, use the raise your hand function, and we will get to you as the press conference progresses.
Zach Oliveri, Wink News. Briley, Imani, obviously not the outcome you all wanted, but down the stretch, that's exactly what March is about, a finish like that. Coming back down, what was kind of the mindset of the team down the stretch there?
We wanted to win, and we knew that it was something that we could do, and we were all locked in. And it didn't end how we wanted, but like Coach said, we put up a fight, and we laid it all out there. So.
To piggyback off what Briley said, we went in, we fought hard, we played for each other, and we was just there for each other, and we gave it all we had.
And now for both of you to look back on this season, a lot to be proud of. What do you think the legacy of this team is and kind of some of the memories that you'll leave here with or that you'll have from this season?
We're going to have a lot of memories. We accomplished a lot. We are all close on and off the floor, so we have a lot of friendships that we're going to take with us, and basketball memories, 2 championships, NCAA tournament. So we have a lot to be proud of and a lot to take with us wherever everybody's on to next.
We'll go second row on your right.
Jaron May with NBC2. Briley, you obviously have made some stops before you got to FGCU. Now, with your Eagles career over, what does FGCU mean for you?
It means everything. I had an opportunity to come down here and play for Coach Smesko and for this program who's really, we've made a name for ourselves, and that's not by accident. So having this opportunity and playing in March and all of this I'm really, really happy that I got to be able to do that, and I don't regret a single thing.
We'll stay in the second row.
Imani, you guys obviously got out of the gates really hot. What changed, from the first quarter to the second and then ultimately into the second half?
I would say our pace. We wasn't playing with the same intensity as we started with. We kind of got comfortable, and that's where the mistake was.
If there's any more questions in the room, please raise your hand. If you're on Zoom, use the raise your hand function, and we'll get to your question. Briley, this is Greg Campbell from IUHoosiers.com. Just a quick follow-up on what was asked earlier. A number of fifth-year seniors and folks that have exhausted eligibility are going to be moving on from this team this year, but the precedent is set for Florida Gulf Coast. Where do you see this program moving forward with the younger players that now have to step in and maybe fill some of those roles?
I think we have the same expectation as always. Seems, we lost all 5 starters last year and lost starters the year before, and Coach does a really good job of taking whoever's here and, bringing the best out of everybody, and everyone's just going to, do it the FGCU way, and the goal is always to be here. So it'll be the same thing. It won't change.
And then Imani, along the same lines, what do you guys do as the older leaders on the team now to carry the team forward, maybe into next season?
Just get everybody on board and just listen to what Semesco has for us and just buy in.
Anything else in the room for the student athletes? Last call for Zoom questions. Ladies, congratulations on a great season, and we look forward to watching you play next year again.
Thanks, guys.
We'll now take questions in the room. Coach, we'll start second row on your right.
Coach, you've obviously had a lot of successful seasons. What stands out about this year?
Every year is special. You have different people involved, and to see this team come together and just be excellent teammates to one another. I mean, that's what's going to stand out to me, is that every day they enjoyed being around each other. They worked for each other, and they played great for most of the season.
From your perspective, what changed from that hot start into the second quarter, second half, and when they ultimately took the lead?
Well, I mean, Oklahoma's really good, and they were doing a good job guarding our ball screens, and they ramped up the intensity defensively, and we didn't get the same quality of shot in the second quarter as we did in the first. And when you're playing a team like Oklahoma, they're going to make runs at some point during the game. You just have to manage it, and hopefully you can have your own runs and come out on top at the end. And it looked like we had a chance to do that for quite a bit, but just couldn't close it out.
Carl
Front
Zach,
row on
all
the
very Carl Zach, all very Wink News. And just what was the message to the girls in the locker room after a successful season, obviously a hard-fought game tonight?
I just told them that I know that it hurts because I'm hurting right now. We wanted to be preparing for another game and having an opportunity to go to a Sweet 16. But I just told them that I was really proud of them. And, people dream of the seasons that we had this year, to get this opportunity to win multiple championships. I'm really proud of them. That's all.
And then kind of walk us through those two looks you guys had. They were pretty good looks.
At the end?
Yes.
Well, the first play, I called a 30-second timeout. Probably should have called a full timeout because we had to go over the play quickly and we didn't quite run it right. And might have been better to call a timeout earlier and set something else up, but we let it play out a little bit, and then, we'll have to look at the shot to see, what we got out of that. But, the last shot, it kind of worked out the way we wanted it. We knew they were going to be matched up and guarding things low, so we thought we'd be able to free somebody up high on the three-point line and at least give us a fighting chance to put the thing into overtime. And, Uju's a good shooter. She had a great look. And for a second, I thought we were going to get one of those amazing bounces, but unfortunately it bounced out.
Coach, there's obviously a good amount of upperclassmen on this team that have exhausted their eligibility. Briley, Uju, Kiki Adams has been here for 5 years. When you think about this year's class, what stands out and what will you remember about them?
Well, I'll remember things about each individual player, and I just appreciate that they took a chance on FGCU, when they were, Kiki came as a freshman, but everybody else came as transfers, and they came in and wanted to be part of something special, and they didn't want anything handed to them. They wanted to earn it, and, each of them have had great moments as an FGCU Eagle. And, I love all of them, and I think they'll all be successful going forward, and I think they'll all stay really close to the program.
Coach Greg Campbell with IUHoosiers.com. This pod had 4 really talented teams, 2 undefeated conference champions, and 2 Power 5 at-large bids. What does it show the growth of women's basketball around the country to have that much talent here in one pod and even in other pods around the country?
Well, yeah, women's basketball is growing, and it's nice to see that everybody's starting to notice it. And once people watch it, they get an appreciation for it because, the players are extraordinarily talented. And I think this is just the start of a women's basketball boom. I mean, there's so many amazing young players in the NCAA right now, and people are going to know these players as household names, and they're going to be must-see TV. So, I always thought this day would come, but I think everybody sees it now, what women's basketball is about to become.
Any other questions in the room for Coach? Last call for questions from our Zoom crew. If not, Coach, congratulations on another great season, and we hope to see you back next year.
Thank you.